Ladies and gentlemen, what could be more hilarious and pathetic and just indicative of today's politics than Kasich, John Kasich, speaking at the Democratic National Convention? This is exactly why I'm voting for President Trump. This is exactly why. This is exactly why. Well, I used to say when I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post, long ago, I used to say there's no difference, especially on foreign policy. There are differences, obviously, but I used to say, really, in terms of the grandiose issues, foreign policy, to a great extent, economic policy, but foreign policy, I was referring to, there's no difference between establishment Republicans and establishment Democrats. And it's true. Tell me what the difference is. Please tell me what the difference is. You have John Kasich speaking at the Democratic National Committee. Does he think that Democrats are going to... I mean, this is obviously not because he wants to be president. But think of how many literary agents he'll get. Think of how many, potential opportunities in Hollywood or potential opportunities on MSNBC and CNN to host a show. I mean, oh my God, he'll get published anytime he wants in the New York Times or the Washington Post. I mean, think about it. There's Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, hello. Hello, Keith. Thank you for watching from Belize. Thank you. Keith, hello. I'll read you this. Democratic convention on behalf... Kasich to speak at Democratic convention on behalf of Biden. What does that even mean? Does that mean Biden's not going to be there? Which he probably won't. It'll be Hillary Clinton. Former Ohio... Clinton's going to be nominee. Only a political party full of imbeciles would believe that they would elect a person who looks like his own wax statue came to life. Biden is so boring that paint watches him dry. He looks and acts like an exhumed body. This guy is the vice president, the former vice president he looks like Rip Van Winkle's nightmare. This is a person who communicates and acts like an exhumed body that got Botox and plastic surgery. The man he's not going to be the Democratic nominee. And he won't be on that ballot opposite President Trump, because if he is, they lose miserably. If he's on that ballot opposite President Trump, they lose miserably. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, below, please go ahead and subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. The link is below. But you have this is kind of funny. You have the Lincoln Project. They're the good Republicans. These are literally the people who voted for Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld's foreign policy, which was furthered by President Obama, Clinton, and Biden. These are the people, ladies and gentlemen, that liberals and Democrats, they say, well, climate change is more important than bringing Americans home. President Trump brought Americans home, or he removed Americans, and these soldiers are going to be... These soldiers are going to be brought home eventually, if they haven't already. He's bringing Americans home from Afghanistan, America's longest-running war. He signed a deal in late February, early March. He removed soldiers from northern Syria, which was the right decision. President Obama made the absolute wrong decision to send them there, because you already had 5 countries and other militaries fighting a name of an organization I can't bring up on YouTube. So he scaled back American foreign policy, and he ran on that. That's why he won. That's the biggest reason in my book that he won. The biggest reason that President Trump won is foreign policy, and it's the thing that nobody cares about. They don't care about foreign policy. Democrats do not care. They're obsessed with Russia. Russia has zero reason to fear Democrats. Putin does not fear Clinton or Democrats. They've convinced themselves of that, which is really sad also. Democrats are like a former heavyweight champion that is 48 years old and hasn't been in the ring, and it's like Russia is not afraid of Democrats. They're not afraid, or Republicans. They're not afraid of the United States of America because they still have the same weapons they did during the Cold War. So you can either have mutually assured destruction or better relations. We already went through that, and their Red Scare tactic, Mitt Romney and John McCain were hawks. President Obama ran on a Russian reset, and he told Mitt Romney in 2012 the 80s want their foreign policy back. Then you had 20% of U.S. uranium capacity being sold under President Obama, with Mueller as the FBI director. While it was going down, while there was a bribery and racketeering scandal on U.S. soil, this happened, and people were indicted, or one person was indicted, a Russian national. And you had trucking company executives indicted on this. And you had yellow cake uranium being shipped out of the country, according to the New York Times. And the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, admitted that, yes, that happened. Now you have John Kasich, who is the Lincoln Project candidate, basically. Who cares? That's why President Trump has a 91% approval rating. The Republicans are never going to go back to the Mitt Romneys of the world. They're never going to go back to the Mitt Romneys of the world. They're never going to go back to the George W. Bush, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Mitt Romney, Jeff Flake, or at least for the presidential election, Paul Ryan type Republican. The next Republican that wins after President Trump will have to have a populist message. And it's a populist message that resonates on the left as well. Don't underestimate the support that President Trump has among a lot of people, even people on the left. Agent Pepsi, hello. Even people on the left. So, Eric H526, good. That's why you are an awesome and intelligent moderator. You don't even have to engage in you know what? If you don't drink beer or alcohol, it's like your lifespan is going to just increase. Your liver, your body, your everything, your mind will be, it's, I'm not saying you can't have a beer or whatever. I'm just saying if you don't drink, like President Trump doesn't drink, which is great. Can't say the same about Madam Secretary. So Eric H526, never even try it. It's not even worth it. But Madam Secretary, yeah, we could say, walk in the woods, have a little shot-ski with Sasquatch. It's all good. It's all good. Riding high in the polls, Biden begins courting Republican voters. Yes. Tell us more. When they lose again, it is going to be the most beautiful and hilarious. Oh my God, it's going to be the most hilarious thing in the world. Okay, they're not going to get the turnout that they think they're going to get. They ain't going to get the turnout they think they're going to get. All right? That's not in the cards for Democrats, because they've been telling people for 3 months, aside from people who stood in the rain for their primaries. So this is hilarious. They're like, oh, we need ballots. We need mail-in ballots. Oh, well, what happened to the mail-in ballots? Well, okay, that's they actually got an extension for mail-in ballots in Wisconsin, but they're saying, oh well, we need mail-in ballots. We can't have people in line during a pandemic. It's like they keep on. They actually had a Democratic primary where people were waiting in line in the rain in Wisconsin. Actually, like hail was like pelting them. It was so cold that they were getting pelted by hail. This was in March and April. They had primaries in Illinois, Arizona, and Florida, where they never asked Fauci if they could still have their primaries. I wonder why. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where they are completely, like, they're doing it again because the past 4 years, we had to deal with people who were the biggest sore losers on the planet. They cheated their own candidate, and they cheated their own candidate. And it's like they cheated their own candidate in Bernie Sanders. Bernie, of course, doesn't care because he enjoys being a walking doormat or a human doormat. Who knows what drives this man? Didn't say a word about it. Then you have a situation. By the way, to my super chat, thank you so very much. Subscribe also to H.A. Goodman's other channels below in the pinned comment. Then you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where every single publication was saying, oh my God, you're going to have, it's going to be a landslide. I was actually in a deli. I was at a deli eating pastrami, and I'm not even joking because I love pastrami on rye bread with mustard. It's pretty awesome. And I was at a deli, and I was sitting next to, I'm not going to tell you who it was, and probably a lot of people won't even remember who it was, but a pretty prominent, I'll just say sportscaster or person involved in sports journalism. And he was with a couple people, and he was saying how Clinton was going to win in a landslide. And I was eating my pastrami sandwich, and I enjoyed it, and it was so good. And I was like, in my head, that ain't going to happen. And it's going to be really interesting when they lose, because that ain't going to happen. Clinton ain't going to win. It's not going to happen. And Clinton lost. NPR quoted me below. The link is below in the pinned comment and description. And it's like they convince themselves all the time. That they're ahead of the game, and that, nobody really wants Trump, and we're definitely gonna win. And you know what? Guess what? If he wins, I just want to let you know, if he wins, it's because Putin, and he's not going to accept the election results. Okay, so really, we have it under the control, and it's like, they're going to lose again. They're not going to understand what happened. You're going to have people like John Kasich, mourn Trump's victory with them. I just don't know what happened. Really, he's taken the soul of America, and he's taken the soul of the Republican Party and shoved it up his big orange rear end. Honestly, I mean, I'm John Kasich. I have no answers. Rachel. I have no answers. I don't know what I can tell you. I just, golly gee whiz, golly gee shucks, golly gee whiz. He's just a bad person. He's just an orange bad person. Why did he win? I mean, come on. I don't know. I can't say that I can't rule out foul play. Because, the polls were showing Madam Secretary up by 35 points 3 days before the election. And it's just too bad what happened with Biden. I mean, that, a pack of wild stampeding elephants, on Pennsylvania Avenue, no less. Really, it's just, who could have predicted it? I'm trying to tell you. They're not going to be able to, understand why they lost. They're not going to be able to comprehend why they lost. And it's like they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. And you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where people truly believe that, Biden will be nominee. And every day that goes by, I'm telling you, they can't go with Biden. Because if they did, they would lose miserably. Okay, there's no logic to the polls. The polls that show him 15 points up, there wouldn't even be logic to the polls that show Biden up by 4 points. Based on what? His charisma? No. So, if you looked in 2008, this is when I voted for President Obama twice. And I was a lifelong Democrat. But I knew that President Obama was more charismatic than and had a better personality, was, a better campaigner than Romney or McCain. Even though I was partisan towards the left, I knew that. There was no debate. Is there a debate? Who's more charismatic? Even Democrats will agree. It's Trump. Or they won't say charisma with Trump. They'll be like, he has a unholy, spiritual hold on the hearts, the cold, lifeless hearts of Trump supporters. But they'll be like, yeah, the enthusiasm is with Trump. But so what? And, is it charisma? No. Why would people vote Biden? What does he stand for? Nobody knows. What does Trump stand for? Well, it's certainly not what Democrats think he stands for. But in terms of foreign policy, he's bringing home Americans. The United States can't be a police force around the world. And that is something that, used to be a liberal viewpoint or vantage point. And so, in terms of foreign policy, Trump stands for bringing home American soldiers. Veteran who approves, hello, I do as well. And so, in terms of every policy, from immigration to economic policy, at least he stands for something, President Trump. What does Biden stand for? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. President Trump is going after very corrupt intelligence officials. Biden worships them. And the interesting thing, the hilarious thing is that Biden and Clinton, well, intelligence says, the appeal to authority, the appeal to the intelligence community, why would I care what they say about anything? They haven't been right on any major issue. Tell me what they've been right on, from the Gulf of Tonkin to the Bay of Pigs, the Gulf of Tonkin, to Facebook ads, to Bush's endless quagmires predicated upon intelligence failures. What have they been right on? Why should I revere the intelligence community or even use that as part of an argument for any claim? So, like, if they disagree with Trump on the, well, the intelligence disagrees with him. So what? It's not like the United States can see, like, it's not like citizens can see the classified reports. All they have to say is, well, you know, if you would see it, you'd know. Which is actually what President Obama stated once about the classified emails. Well, if you could see these top secret emails, you'd realize they weren't that important. It's like, what? How is that even, like, how on earth is that even a, like, an argument? But, like, seeing it to Lupin, hello. But, like, my whole thing is, like, I'll just read this, then I'll get into, okay, Kasich to speak at Democratic convention on behalf of Biden. Who knows what that means, on behalf of Biden? Former Ohio Governor John Kasich is expected to speak on behalf of former Vice President Joe Biden at the Democratic National Committee next month. They're not going to nominate Biden. They're going to nominate Hillary Clinton. And those debates, you watch this channel and H.A. Goodman's other channel. I'll do live streams like for 3 straight hours. Okay, like an hour and a half on this channel, an hour and a half on H.A. Goodman's other channel. Who knows what I'm going to do? I think I might start my third channel, like the third channel that I have, as just Kanye West's 2020 strategy, or Kanye's 2020 strategic vision. I don't know, but I will explain in that channel. Maybe I'll devote that channel to just explaining how he can become president, because he can. I'm telling you. I know people say, oh my God. No, I'm telling you, he can become, only if he runs as a Republican, not as a third party or Democrat. But here, it's unclear if Kasich will explicitly endorse the presumptive Democratic nominee when he speaks at the convention, but the expected remarks would amount to a major show of support for Biden by a lifelong Republican who rose to political prominence amid the Tea Party movement a decade ago. The plans were first reported on Monday by the Associated Press. Spokespeople for Biden's campaign, the Democratic National Committee, did not immediately respond to the Hill's request for comment. Kasich, who unsuccessfully ran for the Republican presidential nomination in 2016, has been fiercely critical of President Trump. Did President Trump get us into a war? No. Did he get us into a economic recession? Don't blame the pandemic response on Trump. Okay, these are governors who decided and wonderful medical community, which is fantastic. They're very, very good. Infectious disease specialists and experts. Okay, not Trump's fault. So what did he do? Did he get us into Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld and President Obama and Biden and Clinton's foreign policy, endless debacles and quagmires and endless? Did his foreign policy cause the immediate suffering of millions upon millions of people? No. Did he have an email scandal with top secret intelligence on servers outside of the United States government? No. Did he work with Russia? No, he didn't. Did he withhold military assistance to go after Biden? No, because he would pay like $1 billion to actually have Biden as opposition. Biden's horrendous. You know, they're going to have Biden speak if he plans to be on that ballot. And I mean, he did a good job this evening on MSNBC, but it still wasn't enough. It still wasn't nearly enough. You put him on the spot, and it's like game over. If he ever debated Trump, he would obliterate Biden, and the entire country would be like, "Yeah, this is ridiculous." The entire country would be like, "Yeah, I'm not a fan of Trump," or people who. But I'm not going to go for this man. So this is the issue. they're going to go with Clinton, and it's just a matter of time. Cali boy! The Dems are talking about Trump accepting the results of the election and clearly letting us know their intentions on stealing it. I think, Cali boy, that is actually a great... I agree with you on that. They're projecting. A lot of it is projection, and I agree with you on that. Cali boy, thank you. A lot of it is projection, and I agree with you on that. The projection is what the problem is. The projection is... they're always, and that's the thing, they're always like covering, like they're always hedging their bets. They're always covering their bases. Well, if we lose, I just want to let you know, Trump won't play fair. It's like, no, you're the ones who don't play fair. You're the ones who won't play fair. And you're the ones who have not played fair before. Just ask Bernie Sanders. Like, everything we experience today, if indeed the country is being torn apart at the seams, which it isn't, we're not as divided a country as media or the Democratic Party will have you believe. Okay? But if indeed we were, it would be like a big part Bernie Sanders' fault. All he could have said was, I was cheated and it wasn't Russia's fault. That's it. That's all he needed to say. Cali boy, thank you. I agree with you. But like they're really like gluttons for punishment. Like they don't get it. Like they were burned by the polls all throughout 2016. The only reason that the polls were somewhat accurate in terms of the popular vote is because you had Gary Johnson of the Libertarian Party taking 4.5 million votes. And then you had Clinton outspending Trump 2-1. So it's kind of like it's kind of like they create their own reality and then easily create a reality. So when they lose again, they're going to create another reality. They're going to forget how arrogant they were. They're going to forget how overly confident they were. And it's going to be the same thing all over again. It will be the exact same thing all over again. D-Lynn, hello. It's going to be the same thing all over again. And now you have John Kasich. It's like, this is exactly why. But people say, well, why would anyone vote for Trump? Because Kasich is going to be at the Democratic convention. Trump has 90+% approval rating in the Republican Party. He has 90+% approval rating. I don't think they realize or even understand what that means. That means of the 63 million voters who voted for President Trump, the vast majority are going to vote again for President Trump. It doesn't matter what, because the vast majority were Republicans. And you have, a sizable number of independents, but you have 163 million Americans who are either Republican or a small percentage of whom are independent, and a tiny percentage like myself, former progressives or liberals who are like, I'd much rather have President Trump than anyone in the Democratic Party, and Trump's a good president. Very good president. They don't judge President Obama in the same manner they do Trump. They don't judge Bush in the same manner they do President Trump. Like, if they used the same standards, the same metric or standard, or if they use the same sensibilities, because they're always outraged. They're outraged over everything, but they're never outraged when their own side does the same thing. It's interesting. They're always outraged. It's always so outrageous. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But then, like, you have Biden's Charlemagne comment. It's like, oh my goodness, come on, Trump is worse. It's like, wait a second. You grade Biden on a curve, with Trump being like the height of outrage. But then you judge everyone else upon this moral certitude, this kind of like these maxims that you claim are, more grounded in reality than Newtonian physics. They will bend their morals. They will bend their belief systems and twist themselves into pretzels when it suits them, but they will condemn and judge based on the notion that they're pure as the driven snow. And the outrage, I say, why would I care anymore what anyone thinks about, like, Trump or what he said, or, oh my God, it's like, Carol, I agree. Everyone voting for President Trump is going to vote for President Trump again. Not everyone voting for Clinton is going to vote for, Biden won't be the nominee, but not everyone voted for Clinton in 2016 is going to vote for Clinton again. So, that's, it is only a matter of, like, it's really interesting too, also, like, they're so into trusting government, except when William Barr is. Then if it's William Barr, don't trust him. But you better trust that the governors know what's good for you. Well, what about William Barr? Oh, no, bad. Your mayor and your governor, they know what's good for you. What about John Durham? John Durham, bad. Trump, he bad too. President, bad. What about John Kasich? He's good, very good. What about all these people who work in government who side with media and Democrats? Very good people. Fantastic. Oh, okay. So you only believe government officials when they side with your political party. Yeah. I mean, they're pretty. The treachery is kind of hilarious. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because they don't realize the duplicity. Then they don't care. You have to understand also, like, they haven't gotten the memo that they lost and that they can't lecture people. They haven't gotten that memo yet. None your business. Holy crap, my comment is being blocked. Unbelievable. Can you read Big Latin? Big Latin. Yes, a lost art. Well, you know what? It depends on, I guess you could write it, but it depends on what it's about. If it's like, none your business, if it's about something I can't talk about, because I'm like writing like, below the radar. None your business, thank you. It's all good. Brickyard 4738. It's all good. All good. No, go ahead. It's all good, yeah. I can't stand today's liberals it's like the most disingenuous, duplicitous not all, but most are like completely disingenuous and duplicitous. None of your business. You could try. Yeah. But none of your business. Thank you. Thank you. The interesting thing is I'm already thinking ahead, and I am already thinking ahead, ladies and gentlemen, to November 4th, because you're gonna none of your business and everyone here, you're going to have a very, very interesting, once Clinton becomes nominee, because it ain't going to be Biden. There's no way Biden becomes nominee, or there's no way that he is going to be on that ballot. If a day before November 2nd, and it's still Biden, Trump, I'm going to say it, Clinton's going to be on that ballot. I don't care what happens. I don't care. I'm just letting you know. So, but here, John Kasich. Ben Shapiro rips Kasich over reports he will speak at DNC. Did he ever stop running for president? Reacted Monday to Associated Press reports, Ohio. The AP reported that, according to a person with direct knowledge of the plans, the former 2016 presidential candidate is among a handful of high-profile GOP members likely to become more active in supporting Biden in the fall. This hurts Biden. They don't get it. They're so clueless. They're so clueless. It's unbelievable. The fact that Kasich is endorsing Biden now and will eventually endorse Hillary Clinton is exactly why Trump won. This is exactly what he's talking about. They are so clueless. This is exactly why people on the left sit the election out. People who don't even like Trump. They sit the election out. This is exactly why President Trump is going to win re-election. When he wins re-election, that night is going to be hilarious. Okay, let's see here. Okay, hold on one second. All right, so none of your business. None of your business. Uruguay is like, okay. So hold on. Oh, okay, so wow. Well, you know, it's funny. I got everything but the last word. I don't know what's wrong with me. That's pretty funny. Wow. So, none your business. Thank you. My thoughts on election fraud. None your business. This is fun. None your business. It has to get close. I don't think it's going to get close with Clinton or Biden. If it's a referendum on Trump, they ain't going to, if it's in a referendum on establishment Republicans, which is why Paul Ryan is no longer there, yeah. Establishment Republicans are dinosaurs. President Trump is the future of the Republican Party, and also in many ways the future of the Democratic Party. They are not going to have, after Clinton runs the Democratic Party into the ground, because she will be the nominee. Look, it's in a couple weeks, people. In less than a month. It's now less than a month. None of your business. Thank you. This is fantastic. It has to be close. So, it has to be close. None of your business. It has to be close, or else what's the point of cheating? So, if it's not close, they can cheat all they like. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. So, it's not really going to matter. We know that they cheat. We know this. Just ask Bernie Sanders. We know they cheat. I think that there, everybody focuses on, it's almost as if Democrats were they're omnipotent. They're not going to be able to, it has to get down to less than 20,000 votes in a state, but I don't see, they have to get record turnout in cities. Cities now have been, cities are in very bad shape now because of the $1.4 billion in property damage around the country by one insurance estimate. Agent Pepsi One, you could be right about that. Who knows? You could be right about that. I'm not saying that that's not the case. But, nonetheless, he was cheated. Whether he was a part of it in the beginning or he just, didn't fight after finding out he'd be cheated, that's, very likely, looking back now, he was a part of it from the beginning. But people like John Kasich, they're political animals, and their business is politics. Their business is politics. Politics is lucrative for people. It's lucrative because of the connections. It's lucrative because of the name recognition. It's lucrative. He makes money from that. So John Kasich used to work at Lehman Brothers. But now he's going to be the good Republican. The whole thing is very bizarre. I'm trying to tell you now is the calm before a whole lot of Trump's occupation of American cities has begun. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my God, here we go. And it has begun. I noticed though, there aren't ever any New York Times journalist embedded within these peaceful events. I wonder why. They're so apoplectic, they can't win an argument. And then when they're confronted with facts, they just lie even more. You know what I don't understand about the person who's deliberately committing criminal acts by pretending to be me on Twitter? The person watches my stuff. He just posted the most absurd nonsense. I say I don't get it. If you see anyone on social media pretending to be me, they're breaking the law, please go ahead and report them to Twitter. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's just unbelievable. Like this Twitter impersonator is like every so often, it just like mirrors like things I say on segments that don't have anything to do. It's like, if you don't like my viewpoint, you don't have to. First of all, you're committing a crime. You're committing a crime. I already have attorneys like taking screenshots, and this is the same profile that was illegally sharing my my books on Amazon. It's like unbelievable. And like, so what are these people going to do when they lose the election? It's pretty interesting. When they lose the election, oh my God. I mean, you're talking, who knows how they're going to react. 2015 is going to be, like, 2016 is going to be, like, the most amazing. Pete Solano! I was supposed to get it. Well, Pete Solano, thank you. Pete Solano. Well, Democrats are using it as, One Better J5. Yeah, the people are so bizarre. I don't get it. Pete Solano, they're definitely utilizing, but then when they had their own, Pete, when they had their own primaries, it was like, they get their own primaries, and it's like, suddenly they're okay. Suddenly they can vote in line. Suddenly voting in line is like a human right. Like, okay, but then when it's pretty unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. Pete, thank you. Thank you, everyone. To my super chat, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be back tomorrow. Check out H.A. Goodman. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. I have a great segment on there. People, it is going, the election is going to heat up very quickly, very soon. Very quickly and very soon. They ain't going with Biden at that convention. And if they do, they will have tanked. See, this is the thing. They're going to go with Clinton eventually. If they miss that opportunity to go with Biden, and I don't think they will, it's like, who knows what, like, they're not going to be able to rebound from that because they already have no enthusiasm going into the election. Now, when Clinton becomes nominee, you're going to see enthusiasm through the roof. I will have made the biggest political call of all time. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. To my super chat, thank you. I will see you all tomorrow. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. Thanks, everyone.